Hey, comic fam, Big Trouble in Little China is one of my all-time favorite films. Remember that scene where Action describes oil as black blood of the earth?
You mean oil? I mean black blood of the earth.
That has stuck with me for years because, let's be real, oil is creepy. It's the pressurized marrow of the Paleolithic, burned by humanity for a century, making it the perfect nightmare fuel.
I see what you did there.
It's a dark, viscous, Stygian soup, just waiting for a shapeshifter to call it home. And as a massive creature feature fan, that's exactly why I'm hyped to talk about Of the Earth, a new 6-issue miniseries from Image Comics and a creative team of Chris Condon, Andrew Ehrich, CHARLIE ADLARD, PIP MARTIN, and HASSAN OTSMANE-ELHAOU.
So let's get into it.
Now, digging deep is a tale as old as time. Tolkien did it with the dwarves in the Mines of Moria. The Old Gods of Appalachia podcast is doing it brilliantly right now. But this team takes a different tact entirely. They're leaning into a neo-noir horror template straight out of the Cormac McCarthy playbook. This isn't the romanticized West.
How about some more beans, Mr. Ty?
This is Texas oil country, visual vacancy, baked yellow earth, dotted with the occasional oral derrick. It's hostile, it's barren, and it feels hungry.
Yeah, that sounds very dark.
Enter our protagonist, Tabitha Black. She's fleeing a bad relationship and heading home to her grandma's house where she grew up. But as she gets closer, the world starts to undergo a slow, liminal erosion, mimicking what McCarthy calls the unseen path. Tabby, an unconscious passenger, being pulled inexorably into a web of fate she can't escape.
I'm flying a web.
CHARLIE ADLARD is back, embracing his dark muse here. He's prioritizing atmosphere and using high contrast to create a visual, psychological weight with the blacks that are so heavy they feel like a net, which captures the characters and suspends them in space. But his greatest trick? Body language. He communicates Tabitha's internal world so well that the book doesn't need to overburden the panels with dialogue. He doesn't shy away from human suffering either. The last panel of this issue is haunting. A character not just in a scene, but physically controlled by the boundaries of it.
Suspended in time and space.
Pip Martin's colors knit it all together. I spent 4 years in Oklahoma, folks. I know this aridity, and it feels like you're looking through a set of polarized glasses that's shielding you from that oppressive heat while making you feel the dead grass crunching underfoot as the characters walk. And Hassan's onomatopoeia, one of my favorite scenes in the book as it stretches wide across the panels, creating a visual cacophony that reverberates in your head, if not in your ears.
It makes a frightening noise.
The Solicits compare this to John Carpenter's The Thing, and with my background in anthropology with a focus on Native American mythologies, my mind went straight to the Navajo Skinwalker. Quick aside, Texas isn't classically Skinwalker territory, but there have been some wild urban sightings recently in San Antonio, East Houston, and oddly the Amarillo Zoo. I'll put links in the show notes. You can make up your own mind on those.
That shit is real.
But the book creates its own unique creature mythology. Chris Condon uses a strategy he perfected in that Texas blood, including prose, in this case in the front matter, that lays out the wildcatter myth. It sets the stage so that when you get to the meat of the story, the undertow of the plot never stops pulling you under. I loved it.
He can really tell a story.
Where this could have gone off the rails is the damsel in distress trope. Look, it's 2026, and that cliche is tired.
And I'm tired of that shit.
Thankfully, Tabitha is more Ellen Ripley than Sally Hardesty. She's in turmoil, sure, but she's in control. She has empathy, but she isn't portrayed as a lamb to the slaughter. She's the linchpin that makes this whole thing work, and I'm 100% invested in her as a character.
Hey, what more can a guy ask for?
Oh, the 6 demons died.
Ultimately, like its premise, Of the Earth is asking you to dig a little deeper. It's not a simple hack-and-slash horror vehicle. It's a pressure cooker that's simmering a haunch of uniquely American Texas Gothic goodness. Don't wait for the trade on this one. The visual pacing of these single issues is a gift. So get to your LCS and get those pre-orders in because the black blood of the earth starts flowing in late May. Peace.